So think about a company like Zalando. We're not just talking about some little website, right? This thing is a giant, a digital fortress, really. And for any hacker out there, that's the ultimate prize. So the big question is, how on earth do you defend it?
Okay, first, let's just wrap our heads around the scale here. We're talking millions of transactions every single day. And each one is packed with sensitive data, your personal info, your payment details, where you live. It's this massive, constantly moving stream of information. And you gotta believe, every single point in that stream is a potential target. Securing all that, that's one of the gnarliest challenges in tech right now.
So, how do you protect a target this big? I mean, really, you can't just throw up a bigger firewall and call it a day, right? That's old school thinking. The real answer isn't about building bigger walls at all. It's about a complete shift in how you think about security.
And that shift is all about one thing: proactive defense. See, the old way was to wait for an attack and then react. That's a losing game. Today, it's all about playing chess, not checkers. You have to anticipate the attacker's moves, get inside their head, and find your own weaknesses before they do.
There's actually a name for this whole approach. It's called threat modeling. And honestly, the concept is as simple as it is brilliant. You basically put on your black hat, you think like a hacker, you map out every possible way someone could get into your system, and then you build custom defenses to block every single one of those paths.
All right, so where do you even start? Well, the first step in defending any castle is knowing the layout, right? You need a map. You need to know every single room, every hallway, every secret passage. In the world of cybersecurity, we call this mapping the attack surface. And for a digital fortress like this, the map is broken down into three main areas, what they call trust zones. First, you've got the public zone. Think of this like the open field surrounding the castle. Anyone can wander around out there. Then you get to the DMZ, the demilitarized zone. This is your moat and your gatehouse. It's a buffer, heavily controlled. And finally, deep inside, you have the internal zone. That's the inner keep, the throne room, where all the crown jewels are kept.
So let's put some real tech to this analogy. That public zone, the open fields with low trust, that's where things like the load balancer live, just directing all the incoming traffic. Then, in the DMZ, the moat, you've got the API gateway. It's the gatekeeper. And Zalando actually calls theirs Skipper, which is a cool detail. And then, way inside the high-trust internal zone, that's where the real treasures are, the customer and order databases.
Okay, so our map is drawn. We know the layout of the castle. Now it's time to really put on that hacker hat. And to do this, security professionals have a secret weapon, a kind of playbook. It's a framework called STRIDE. It's basically a checklist of the 6 main ways an attacker can mess with your system.
Let's break it down. First up, S is for spoofing. This is the classic act of impersonation. It's wearing a mask. An attacker could hijack your session and pretend to be you. Or they could use something called DNS spoofing, which basically tricks your computer into going to a fake, malicious website instead of the real one. It's all about pretending to be someone or something you're not.
All right, next in our playbook is T for tampering. Now, this is really insidious. This isn't about stealing your data. It's about secretly changing it while it's in transit. Think about this. You're about to pay for something online, and in that split second, an attacker intercepts it and changes the price or your shipping address. That's a classic man-in-the-middle attack, and it's so sneaky. Okay, on to R for repudiation. You can think of this as the cover your tracks threat. It's the digital equivalent of it wasn't me. You see, after an attacker does their dirty work, they don't want to get caught. So they'll try to tamper with the system logs, delete the evidence, and make it look like they were never there. It's all about plausible deniability.
Next, we have I for information disclosure. This one's pretty straightforward. Look, a company wants you to see certain things. Product pictures, prices, the public stuff. But what an attacker wants is everything behind the curtain. They're after the treasure chest, your personal info, credit card numbers, all the juicy data hidden away in storage. This threat is all about making sure they can't get that unauthorized peek.
Then there's D for denial of service. Sometimes a hacker's goal isn't theft, it's just pure chaos. They want to shut you down. And they do this by just hammering your servers with a tsunami of junk traffic, a DDoS attack. It's so much traffic that real customers, people like you and me, can't get through. It's literally like a mob blocking the front door of a store so no one can get in to shop. And last but not least, we have E for elevation of privilege. This is the big one. This is where an attacker gets in as a normal user, maybe with a stolen password, but then they find a clever way to become an administrator. They basically steal the keys to the entire kingdom. And a really sneaky way to do this? Hack a trusted partner first, say a third-party service, and then use that trusted connection to waltz right into the main system with God mode access.
Okay, so now we have the hacker's playbook, right? We've gone through Stride, we know their main moves, we know what they're after. So, what's next? Well, the next step is to take that knowledge and build a specific defense for every single one of those attacks.
So let's start with spoofing, impersonation. How do you stop that? The answer is strong authentication. We're talking about way more than just a password. Modern systems use things like OAuth, which gives you a secure digital token. You can think of it like a key to your house that magically changes every few minutes. It makes it almost impossible for someone to just copy it and walk right in.
And what about tampering, those man-in-the-middle attacks? The silver bullet here is end-to-end encryption. We're talking about protocols like TLS 1.3. And you actually see this every day. It's the little padlock icon in your browser's address bar. It basically scrambles all the data into unreadable nonsense while it's traveling. So even if an attacker manages to grab it, all they get is a bunch of gibberish.
But here's the thing, it's not just about having one specific fix for one specific problem. A truly secure fortress has layers and layers of defense. We're talking strong encryption for data that's just sitting there, not even moving. We're talking about secure coding practices from day one, validating every single piece of data a user enters to prevent nasty injection attacks, having super strict rules about who can access what. And on top of all that, constantly, and I mean constantly, monitoring everything for any sign of trouble.
So, what's the big takeaway from all of this? It's really simple. The game has completely changed. Sitting around and waiting to get attacked is a guaranteed way to lose. The only way to win at security today is to be proactive. You have to become your own worst enemy. You have to think like an attacker, hunt for your own weaknesses, and fix them before the bad guys even know they exist.
Because at the end of the day, security isn't just about firewalls and encryption. It's not just a wall. It's a mindset. It's a way of looking at the world. So I'll leave you with a question to chew on. Are you just building walls, or are you actively thinking like an attacker and looking for the cracks?